From the swirling chaos of the early solar system, two planets emerged, sisters born from the same cosmic dust. One, bathed in the gentle glow of the sun, became a cradle of life, our Earth. The other, shrouded in mystery, took a darker path. This is Venus, a planet of dazzling beauty, yet one that harbors a deadly secret beneath its swirling clouds. Venus, named for the Roman goddess of love and beauty, is a cruel mistress indeed. Her allure lies in her appearance, a swirling pearl set against the velvet backdrop of space. But this beauty is deceiving, for it masks a truth far more sinister. Venus is a planet of extremes, where temperatures soar high enough to melt lead, and the very air is a toxic cocktail that would kill in an instant. Beneath the planet's thick, swirling clouds lies a landscape sculpted by volcanic fury. Vast plains of solidified lava stretch towards the horizon, broken by towering volcanoes, some still active, spewing molten rock into the already hellish atmosphere. The pressure at the surface is crushing, equivalent to being thousands of feet beneath the ocean's surface on Earth. To stand on Venus would be to experience a nightmare beyond human comprehension. Even the most robust of spacecraft sent to explore this hostile world have only survived for a matter of hours before succumbing to the unforgiving conditions. Venus, our sister planet, is shrouded in a deadly secret. It's not just the heat, though that's a killer in itself. It's the air, or rather, what the air has become. Imagine taking a breath, not of fresh, life-giving oxygen, but of a thick, heavy gas, mostly carbon dioxide. That's Venus. On Venus, it's the dominant force, a suffocating blanket that traps heat with terrifying efficiency. This carbon dioxide atmosphere is incredibly dense, about 90 times thicker than Earth's. The pressure from this dense atmosphere is crushing, equivalent to being thousands of feet beneath the ocean's surface on Earth. The carbon dioxide atmosphere itself is toxic to life as we know it. This thick blanket of carbon dioxide does more than just make the air unbreathable. It turns Venus into a furnace, a planet-sized oven. The heat from the sun, already intense at Venus's closer orbit, becomes trapped by the carbon dioxide, unable to escape back into space. This is the runaway greenhouse effect in its most extreme form. Temperatures on Venus soar to an unimaginable 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than the surface of Mercury, even though Venus is farther from the sun. Lead melts at a mere 621 degrees Fahrenheit. On Venus, it would be a puddle. This heat is relentless, baking the surface day and night. There are no seasons on Venus, no escape from the scorching temperatures. The heat would incinerate any spacecraft we sent, not to mention any life that might dare to exist there. Imagine standing on the surface of Venus, if you could survive the pressure and the toxic air. The heat would hit you like a physical blow, searing your skin, boiling your blood. But the horrors of Venus don't stop with the heat and the pressure. Look up, if you dare, through the thick swirling clouds, and what do you see? Not fluffy white clouds promising rain, but a yellowish haze, a toxic brew of sulfuric acid. These clouds are not some distant threat. They are an active part of Venus's deadly weather system. They rain sulfuric acid, not the gentle rain we know on Earth, but a corrosive downpour that would eat through metal and bone in an instant. Thankfully, this rain never reaches the surface. The extreme heat vaporizes it long before it hits the ground, creating a kind of sulfuric acid steam that adds another layer of hostility to the already hellish atmosphere. It's a truly alien world, hostile to life as we know it in every conceivable way. Venus circles the Sun at a distance of about 67 million miles closer than Earth's comfortable 93 million. While this might seem like a small difference on the cosmic scale, it makes all the difference for Venus. The Sun's rays, already powerful across the vastness of space, beat down on Venus with an intensity that's hard to imagine. Imagine standing under the midday sun on the hottest day you've ever experienced. Now multiply that heat several times over, and you might begin to grasp the intensity of solar radiation bombarding Venus. This relentless heat is the engine that drives the planet's extreme temperatures. But it's the unique composition of Venus's atmosphere that transforms this heat into a deadly furnace. The thick carbon dioxide atmosphere acts like a one-way mirror. Solar radiation pierces through the clouds, reaching the surface and heating it up. But the heat, now radiating back from the surface as infrared radiation, can't escape back into space. The carbon dioxide molecules trap the heat, preventing it from escaping, and the planet gets hotter and hotter. This is the greenhouse effect, a natural process that occurs on Earth as well, keeping our planet warm enough to support life. But on Venus, the greenhouse effect has gone haywire. It's a runaway train, with no brakes to slow it down. The result is a planet with an average surface temperature of around 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than the melting point of many metals. The entire planet is a furnace, a testament to the power of the greenhouse effect when left unchecked. To put this heat into perspective, consider that the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth was 134 degrees Fahrenheit, or 56.7 degrees Celsius in Death Valley, California. That's scorching hot, certainly not a place you'd want to spend a summer afternoon. But on Venus, that temperature would be considered a cool day. Imagine trying to cook a pizza at 900 degrees Fahrenheit. It wouldn't just burn, it would instantly turn to charcoal. That's the kind of heat we're talking about on Venus. Spacecraft sent to explore this hellish world have only survived for a few hours at most before succumbing to the extreme temperatures. There's no escaping the heat on Venus, no hiding from its relentless embrace. The surface is a sea of molten rock, and the air itself is like a blast furnace. We've talked about the scorching heat of Venus, the sulfuric acid rain, but even if you could somehow survive those, the pressure would be your undoing. Imagine diving deep into the ocean, feeling the weight of the water pressing down on you. Now imagine that pressure multiplied by 92. That's Venus. On Earth, we walk around at the bottom of an ocean of air, but we barely notice its weight. The air pressure here is just right for us. On Venus, the atmosphere is so dense, so heavy, that it would crush you like an empty can. The pressure at the surface is about 92 times greater than Earth's, equivalent to being about 3,000 feet beneath the ocean's surface. To put this pressure into perspective, imagine a car parked on your chest. That's about 1 atmosphere of pressure, the pressure we experience at sea level on Earth. Now imagine 91 more cars stacked on top of that first one. That's the kind of pressure you'd encounter on the surface of Venus. No human could withstand that kind of pressure. Your lungs would collapse, your bones would shatter, and your internal organs would be crushed. Even the most robustly built spacecraft we've sent to Venus have only survived for a matter of hours before succumbing to the relentless pressure. This immense pressure also affects the very landscape of Venus. The pressure on Venus is so extreme that it even affects the boiling point of liquids. On Earth, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius at sea level. But on Venus, the boiling point of water is much higher due to the increased pressure. It's like cooking in a pressure cooker. The food cooks faster because the higher pressure raises the boiling point of water. This means that any water that might exist on Venus's surface wouldn't be liquid water as we know it. It would be superheated water, a strange state of matter that's both liquid and gas-like, existing at incredibly high temperatures and pressures. This extreme pressure, combined with the searing heat and toxic atmosphere, makes Venus one of the most inhospitable places in our solar system. Venus, our sister planet, cloaked in its thick and toxic atmosphere, holds another deadly secret, a heart of fire. While Earth experiences volcanic activity along tectonic plates, Venus is a planet seemingly forged in it. Imagine, if you will, a world where the very ground beneath your feet could erupt in a fiery inferno at any moment. Venus is home to thousands upon thousands of volcanoes, far more than any other planet in our solar system. These aren't just small, insignificant features. We're talking about massive shield volcanoes, some dwarfing even the largest volcanoes on Earth like Olympus Mons on Mars. These volcanoes are evidence of a planet that is geologically active, a world where the internal heat is constantly reshaping the surface. These volcanoes aren't just destructive forces, they're also windows into the heart of Venus. By studying the composition of the lava flows, scientists can learn about the minerals and elements that make up the planet's interior. It's like taking a peek into a hidden furnace, trying to understand the forces that drive this planet's fiery nature. One of the most intriguing aspects of Venus's volcanoes is that they seem to erupt in a very different way than those on Earth. Instead of explosive eruptions with massive ash plumes, Venusian eruptions appear to be more like slow, oozing flows of lava. This is likely due to the incredibly high atmospheric pressure, which would suppress any explosive activity. Imagine a landscape constantly being repaved by rivers of molten rock, flowing for hundreds, even thousands of miles. The abundance of volcanoes and the vast plains of volcanic rock tell us that Venus is a planet with a relatively young surface. Unlike Earth, where erosion and plate tectonics constantly recycle the planet's crust, Venus's surface is thought to be only a few 100 million years old. In geological terms, that's practically brand new. This youthfulness is both intriguing and terrifying. It suggests that Venus is a planet still very much in flux, a world where the forces of creation and destruction are locked in a constant battle. It's a reminder that the planets in our solar system are not static objects, but dynamic worlds, each with its own unique story to tell. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast lava plain on Venus, the ground still warm beneath your feet, the air thick with the smell of sulfur. The skies of Venus hold a secret, a deadly beauty that belies its true nature. Picture, if you can, rain not of life-giving water, but of a substance so corrosive it would eat through metal, stone, even bone. This is the rain of Venus, a downpour of pure sulfuric acid, a nightmare brought to life. High in the planet's thick atmosphere, these droplets form, condensing around microscopic particles of dust. But unlike the gentle rain we experience on Earth, this rain never reaches the ground. The intense heat of Venus, that all-encompassing furnace, vaporizes the sulfuric acid before it can reach the surface. Imagine, if you will, a constant haze of sulfuric acid vapor, a miasma that hangs heavy in the air, adding another layer of hostility to the already hellish atmosphere. This sulfuric acid, ever present in the Venusian atmosphere, forms a thick, choking shroud that obscures the planet's surface from our view. It's a barrier more impenetrable than any wall, a testament to the planet's hostility to life as we know it. Imagine trying to peer through a dense fog, the kind that clings to everything, that makes it hard to breathe. Now multiply that fog's density 100-fold and replace the water droplets with tiny, corrosive particles of sulfuric acid. That's the atmospheric shroud that envelops Venus. This shroud is so thick that it reflects most of the sunlight that hits it, giving Venus its high albedo, a measure of how much light a planet reflects. It's this reflectivity that makes Venus so bright in our night sky, a beacon that belies the hellish landscape it conceals. This corrosive shroud, this barrier of sulfuric acid, is a stark reminder of the extreme conditions that make Venus so inhospitable. It's a warning sign to any would-be explorers, a testament to the power of nature to create environments that are both beautiful and deadly. Venus stands as a stark reminder of the delicate balance that allows life to flourish. It's a world of mesmerizing beauty and stark terror, a testament to nature's power to create and destroy. Once envisioned as Earth's twin, Venus is anything but a paradise. Its extreme heat, pressure, and toxic atmosphere warn us not to take Earth for granted. The runaway greenhouse effect on Venus is a cautionary tale about disrupting nature's balance. Even in its hostility, Venus offers valuable lessons. Studying Venus helps us understand planetary evolution and atmospheric science. Venus, though deadly, is a treasure trove of scientific knowledge. With deeper understanding, we can learn from Venus to protect our own planet.